I took a DNA test for fun. That is how it started. I did not think much of it. I was bored. It was late. I was sitting at my small kitchen table. The light was yellow. The fridge was loud. I had my phone in my hand. I saw an ad. It said I could learn about my family. I laughed. It was a joke. I have a twin brother. I know my family. Or I thought I did. I ordered the kit. I told my brother. He laughed too. He said I was dumb. He said nothing good ever comes from those tests. I said, relax. It is just for fun. We always say that. Just for fun, that is what I told myself. Weeks later, the box came. It was small. It felt light. I shook it. It rattled. I cut it open with a butter knife. I spit in the tube. It felt gross. I sealed it. I put it back in the box. I walked it to the mailbox. The metal door was cold. It slammed shut. I remember that sound. It was loud. I forgot about it. Life went on. Work. Bills. Coffee. Same stuff. My brother and I talked every day. We always do. We grew up together. Same room. Same bed for years. Same hair. Same face. Same laugh. People could not tell us apart, and even Mom got confused. Even Dad messed up our names. Then one night I got an email. I was half asleep. My phone buzzed. I checked it. I saw the subject line. Your results are ready. My heart sped up. I sat up in bed. The room was dark. The fan hummed. I opened the email. I stared at the screen. I did not get it. I read again and again. My mouth went dry. My hands felt cold. It said I had no close matches. No twin match. No sibling match. It said I was an only child. I laughed. I actually laughed out loud. I said, okay, this is wrong. This is broken. I refreshed the page. Same thing. I logged out. Logged back in. Same thing. My chest hurt. Wait, let me start over. I know this sounds crazy, but I thought it was a prank. I thought maybe my brother's test had not processed yet. Then I remembered. He never took one. I texted him. I said, hey, did you ever do that test too? He replied fast. He said, no. Why? I stared at the phone. My fingers shook. I typed it. I said, mine came back weird. He sent a laughing emoji. He said, what now? I called him. He answered. I told him. He went quiet. That scared me more than yelling would have. He said, that makes no sense. I said, I know. He said, maybe they messed up. I said, yeah, maybe. We both knew it felt wrong. The next day I called the company. I sat in my truck. The steering wheel was hot. My hands were sweaty. I waited on hold. The music was bad. The woman was calm. She said the test was accurate. She said errors were rare. I asked her again. For me. She said, sir, based on the DNA, you do not share parents with the person you listed as your twin. I felt dizzy. I ended the call. I drove to my parents' house. I did not call first. I just showed up. Mom opened the door. She smiled. Then she saw my face. Her smile dropped. Dad stood behind her. He looked tired. He always looks tired. I told them. I said it fast. I said I took a DNA test. I said it says my twin is not my brother. The air changed. The room felt small. Mom sat down hard. Dad did not move. He just stared. Mom said nothing at first. Dad said this is stupid. He said those tests lie. He laughed. It sounded fake. Mom started crying. Soft at first, then loud. That is when I knew. This was real. My parents were terrified. I could see it. Mom's hands shook. Dad rubbed his face. He would not look at me. I asked them. I said, what is going on? I said, tell me now. Dad said, we need time. I said, tell me now. My voice cracked. I hated that. Mom said, please sit. I sat. The couch felt rough. I stared at the carpet. It had stains. Old stains, like the house, old secrets. She said you were born first. She said you were healthy. She said then something went wrong. She said another baby came. She said the hospital was chaos. Nurses ran. Doctors shouted. She said later they brought another baby. She said they said he was yours. I said, what do you mean? Dad said the records were messy. He said it was a bad night. He said they trusted the hospital. Mom cried harder. I said, are you saying my twin is not my twin? Dad said yes. He said he is not your brother by blood. He said we did not know until years later. He said they told us quietly. He said it was too late. My ears ran numb. I stood up. I paced. The room spun. I said, so who is he? Dad said he is ours. He said we raised him. He said blood does not matter. I yelled. I said it matters to me. I left. I slammed the door. I sat in my truck. I cried. I had not cried like that in years. I shook. I could not breathe. I called my brother. I told him everything. He did not speak for a long time. Then he said, "So what does that make us?" I said, "I do not know." He said, "You are still my brother." I said, "I know." But my chest still hurt. That was the problem. That was the moment everything broke. I keep thinking about when we were kids. I keep thinking about our room. 2 beds, blue walls, posters peeling off, the smell of old socks. We shared everything. Toys, clothes, secrets. We went to the same school. Same teachers mixed us up. We played on the same team. People called us the twins. We liked that. It felt special. I remember nights we talked in the dark. We whispered about girls, about leaving town, about being rich one day. We promised we would stick together, always. I remember Mom brushing our hair, same brush. Dad teaching us to throw a ball, same yard, same grass, same scraped knees. Now I think about all of it and it hurts in a new way. Like a bruise I did not know I had. I keep asking myself if I missed signs. If I should have known. My brother looks like me. But not exactly. I always thought it was normal. Twins are not perfect copies. Now I stare at him. I feel guilty. Like I am judging him. I hate that. I also think about the other family. Somewhere out there is a family who lost a baby. Or switched a baby. Or something worse. I do not know. That thought keeps me up at night. Mom calls me every day now. She asks if I am okay. I lie. I say yes. Dad stays quiet. He does not know what to say. I can tell he is scared. Scared I will leave. Scared I will hate them. I do not hate them. But I am angry. I am angry they did not tell us. I am angry they chose silence. I am angry they were scared. My brother feels it too. He said he feels like a mistake. That broke my heart. I told him he is not. I told him he is my brother no matter what. I meant it. I still mean it. But then I wake up at night. I stare at the ceiling. I think about blood. I think about truth. I think about lies. It is a big mess. I know this sounds crazy, but I even smell things differently now, like the house smells different. Like my life smells different. I cannot explain it. Then came the fight, the big one. It was a week later. We all met at my parents' place. Me, my brother, Mom, Dad. The air was heavy. No one smiled. I asked questions. A lot of them. My voice shook. I asked why they did not tell us when we were kids. Dad said he wanted to protect us. I said, from what? He said, from pain. I said, you gave us pain now. He raised his voice. He said we did our best. Mom cried. She begged us to stop yelling. My brother stood up. His face was red. He said, am I not wanted? He said, did you think of giving me back? The room went silent. Mom screamed no. She ran to him. She hugged him tight. Died, cried then. I had never seen that. He said, you are my son. He said, nothing will change that. My brother cried into Mom's shoulder. I just stood there. My chest felt tight. I felt left out. Like the odd one. Like the real stranger. That scared me. I did not expect that. I yelled. I said, what about me? I said, I feel like my life is fake. I said, I do not know who I am. I said, I need the truth. All of it? Dad said, there is no more truth. He said, that is all we know. I said, that is not enough. I said, I want records. Names. Dates. Hospitals. Everything. Mom begged me to let it go. I said, I cannot. My hands shook. I was shaking while I said it. I was shaking while I typed notes in my phone. I needed control. My brother walked over. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, please do not push this too far. He said, you might find things you cannot undo. I looked at him. I saw fear. Real fear. I felt bad. I felt torn. I nodded. I said, okay. But I did not mean it. The fight ended with silence. We all left. No hugs. No goodbyes. Just doors closing. That sound again. Loud. Final. Now I am here, sitting at my kitchen table again. Same yellow light. Same loud fridge. But I am not the same. I feel lost. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel scared. All at once. I still talk to my brother every day. That did not stop. If anything, we talk more. He jokes. He tries to keep it light. I laugh. But it feels thin. Like ice. I do not want to fall through. I do not know if I should search for the truth. I do not know if I should take another test. I do not know if I should ask the hospital. I do not know if I should let it rest. I love my family. I love my brother. He is my brother. I know that in my heart. But my head is loud. It keeps asking questions. I am scared of what I might find. I am scared of what I might lose. I am scared of hurting people I love. I am scared of hurting myself. I keep thinking about that mailbox, that metal door, that one choice. Just for fun, nothing feels small anymore. So I am asking you. Yeah, you. I need advice. What would you do? Would you dig? Or would you stop? Would you protect the bond you have? Or chase the truth no matter what? I am sitting here shaking while I type this. My hands are cold. My chest feels tight. I do not want to make the wrong move. Tell me, please. What should I do now? I woke up the next morning with a headache. A bad one. The kind that feels like someone put a tight band around your head and kept pulling. The light hurt my eyes. Even the quiet hurt. I lay there and stared at the ceiling. It had a small crack near the corner. I had never noticed it before. Now it was all I could see. My phone buzzed. I did not want to look. I knew it was him. My brother. I let it buzz. Then it buzzed again. I sighed and picked it up. He wrote, "You up?" I typed back, "Yeah." He said, "Can I come over?" I stared at the screen. My chest got tight again. I almost lied, but I almost lied. Okay. I got out of bed. My legs felt heavy. I walked to the kitchen. The floor was cold. I poured coffee. I forgot to add sugar. I drank it anyway. It tasted bitter. I did not care. There was a knock at the door. 3 soft knocks. That was him. Always 3. I opened it. He stood there with his hands in his pockets. His hair was messy. His eyes looked tired. He smiled. That same smile. The one that always made things feel normal. For a second, everything felt normal again. Then it faded. He walked in. He sat at the table. Same chair he always used. I sat across from him. We looked at each other. Neither of us spoke. He finally said, "I didn't sleep." I nodded. Neither. He rubbed his face. He said, "I keep thinking about when we were kids." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Remember the night we snuck out and got caught?" I smiled a little. Dad was so mad. He laughed. A short laugh, then he stopped. He said, "Was that real? Or does it matter now?" That question hit me hard. I sat back. I said, He nodded. "Good." He leaned forward. He said, "I'm scared you're going to leave." My heart dropped. I said, "I'm not." He looked at me, like he was checking, like he needed to be sure. He said, "Promise." I swallowed. "I promise." He let out a long breath. His shoulders dropped. He said, "Okay." We sat there. The fridge hummed. A car passed outside. Life kept going like nothing happened. That felt wrong. He said, "Mom cried all night." I closed my eyes. "I know." He said, "Dad won't talk." Yeah. He tapped the table with his finger, over and over. Same spot. He said, "I feel like I don't belong." I leaned forward. I put my hand over his. I said, "You belong with me?" His eyes got wet. He looked away fast. He said, "Don't say that unless you mean it." "I mean it." He nodded. He believed me. I could tell. After he left, the apartment felt empty. Too quiet. I paced. I checked my phone. I opened the DNA app again. I stared at the screen. Same words, same cold facts. I know this sounds crazy, but I kept hoping it would change. Like it would say, "Oops, just kidding." It did not. I started thinking about the hospital, the name, the place. I Googled it. My hands shook. I saw old photos, brick walls, windows. It looked normal. I thought about babies in rows, tiny arms, tiny cries. I thought about how easy it would be to make a mistake or hide one. I felt sick. I called Mom. She answered fast, too fast, like she was waiting. I asked her the hospital name again. She paused, just for a second. "But I heard it." She said it. Her voice was soft, careful. I wrote it down. I asked about dates, times, nurses. She said she did not remember. I could tell she did. She just did not want to say. I did not push. Not yet. A night I drove by my parents' house. I did not go in. I just sat in my truck across the street. The lights were on. I saw shadows move. I felt like a kid again. Watching. Waiting. I hated that feeling. Days passed. Work felt fake. People talked. I nodded. I smiled. Inside, I was loud. My thoughts would not stop. My brother texted memes. Dumb ones. He always does that when things are bad. I sent laughing faces back, even when I did not laugh. Then one afternoon, I got a message from the DNA site. A new match. A close one. My heart jumped. My hands went cold. It said, possible parent. I stared at it. I could hear my own breathing. Loud. Fast. I sat down on the floor. My back against the couch. I clicked it. A name popped up. A woman. Age matched. Location not far. My chest hurt. I felt very sad and very scared at the same time. I did not tell anyone, not mom. Not dad. Not my brother. I sat with it, alone. I thought about her face. I imagined it. Did she look like me? Did she know? Did she miss someone? I thought about my brother, sitting at his place, laughing, watching TV, thinking we were okay. I felt like I was holding a bomb. I am still holding it. So here I am again, typing, shaking a little, asking strangers what I cannot ask my family. Do I open that door? Do I message her? Do I keep this to myself? Do I tell my brother first? Do I stop before it breaks everything? I don't know. I really don't. If you've been through something like this, tell me. If you have advice, I need it. I don't want to lose my brother. But I don't know how to live with this silence either.